remarks regarding Councilwoman Mugg, Councilwoman Peterson for their years, and me. Councilman Moore, I'm going to turn this over to you at this time.
Thank you, Mayor Davis. I've got a little something to say, and I know that Councilwoman Murdoch-Nichols has a few comments, and our city clerk has something to hand out, but I'm going to start this off if you don't mind, sir.
Go right ahead, sir.
You know, my mother always told me at public events, don't talk much longer than what it takes for the water to get hot. And but I've got to go a little bit longer tonight. My mother told me a lot of things. Save your money, say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. Get your elbows off the table, and be respectful of your elders. Mr. Mayor, I toss that one in for you. But she also said, when you meet someone and then become friends with them and then truly develop a strong and dear friendship, to be mindful of what's important to them, respect their opinions, and listen to what they have to say. And so I've sat up here with 2 years, and Ms. Peterson, I've come to value your optimism, your deep faith, your genuine love for Edmond, your leadership on the YMCA library, and for mental health. And Doug, thank you for being part of this. Ms. Mugg, I value your dedication to the arts, your tireless work on Uncommon Ground. You know how hard that was, and I will be forever grateful, and the city will too. I appreciate your hard work, your devotion to education, and your sense of humor. Mr. Mayor, I appreciate your patience. You have a lot of patience with everyone except me, and that's okay. And Chris, thank you for being part of this as well. Mr. Mayor, your patience, your historical knowledge and perspective of things, water, your passion for water for our city. I can't think of anyone that's had more influence and more hope for our city on water, and thank you for that. I want to thank you for your love of Farmers Market. You're there most every Saturday, seeing people, buying things, making people feel welcome, and for your love of all of Edmond, but for downtown Edmond. The three of you have made an impact on our city. You devoted your time, your efforts, Saturdays, Sundays, whatever it takes. Our city's better off for having you on council and as our mayor. I will be forever grateful. Councilwoman Murdoch-Nichols can pick up the mantle of where you two leave off. I'm grateful for that. But the most important thing my mother told me was when you meet someone and become friends with them, and become very good friends with them, don't be afraid to hug them and tell them you love them. And I love each of you. Thank you.
Your mark on the city of Edmond is undeniable, and your influence on me is significant. And it's such an honor to sit up here with each of you. It really is. And as we list all the ways that you've made an impact on our city, I want to remind you that you are wonderful because you're you, regardless of what you do. And I just appreciate each of you. You're so individually, uniquely wonderful. And I'm quickly learning in this role that it's tough. And there are tough moments. It's important to go home to the people that love you, maybe the people who don't even watch. But just know that even through the hard times, I hope, I pray that you'll remember just the goodness. And as I've spent time outside with my family in parks that our city takes care of, I just am reminded we live in a really, really great place with really great people. And you three are part of that. And as I did when you appointed me, I commit to carry on what you started. It's not about me. We are a council of 5 for a reason. And so just thank you for the opportunity to sit alongside you and serve alongside you, and just greatly appreciate you, and thank you.
Deborah Ann. Deborah Ann, I forgot to thank you and Ms. Davis and your family as well. And please give Ms. Davis our best. Mr. Clerk, at this time, if you would, sir, I have a plaque here that's presented to Stacy A. Peterson in appreciation of outstanding service to the community as Ward 4 Council Member 2021 to 2025.
And I have presented to Councilwoman Mugg in appreciation of outstanding service to the community as Ward 3 Council Member 2021 through 2025.
And I also have a plaque here presented to Darrell A. Davis in appreciation of outstanding service to the community as Ward 3 Council Member 2011 to 2021 and as Mayor 2021-2025. Mr. Mayor.
That's just the beginning. Well, thank you. I know that this is a historical council, and you all know I love history. First African-American mayor, but this is the first council that I'm aware of that we have 3 women on there. And so you all are part of witnessing history one more time in Edmond. Please take note of that. Ladies, would you all? Councilwoman
Do you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
All right. So, unfortunately, I think the water will be hot right before I finish. But I've really thought a lot of reflection over the last 2 or 3 months, especially as we come to the end of our term, and thinking about what I maybe want to say. And I'm going to disappoint a few people because I'm not going to rant.
Sorry,
I know, sorry. But I felt like we do receive a lot of negativity, toxicity, accusations, unfortunately. So I'd like to do something positive and give some information. I'm going to try to talk fast and also recognize some people who really make things happen, right? And a few names I'm going to shout out because they're not people you see necessarily at the podium every week. And so here I go, and I'll again try to talk fast. All right, Edmond, funded by sales tax and use tax. That's it. We do not receive any ad valorem or property taxes. They're paid in order of percentage: Edmond Public Schools, Francis Tuttle Career Tech, Oklahoma County, Metropolitan Library System, Oklahoma County-wide schools, and health. The thing I've corrected more than anything in 4 years is that none of your property taxes go to the city of Edmond. The general obligation bond campaign was to do that. The tax rates in Edmond are the 18th among the Oklahoma City metropolitan municipalities. Folks who live in Oklahoma City but are in Edmond Public Schools District are the 12th highest. If the GO bond had passed, we would be at the same level as Oklahoma City legal address and Edmond Public Schools. Sales tax rate is the 14th highest among Oklahoma City metropolitan cities at 8.25%, Piedmont 9.85%, Midwest City 9.1%, and on down. Oklahoma City is 8.63%. These are things that I've heard stated, and I'm going to give the real information, and I'm kind of preaching to the choir, but what I'd ask you to do is when you hear people say things that are not correct, correct them. God bless Bill Begley and the Public Relations Department. They try to get that accurate information out there, but sometimes people don't believe it. Every City Council, Planning Commission meeting are recorded. They're available to watch later on edmondok.gov. You can look at the agendas. You can look at the packets. You can attend in person any of the 26 board and commission meetings, Planning Commission, Finance Committee. I'm really impressed with how much this staff is able to stretch a dollar, get grants. There's a lot of money in grants, incredibly low interest rates for our water infrastructure. It's all transparent. It's all available. Is it complicated? Yes. But there is a real effort to make that available to everyone. And so if you hear people criticizing, you might say, hey, where'd you hear that? Do you know that to be true? And point them in the right direction. 26 boards and commissions serving the city of Edmond, Bicycle Committee, Tourism Committee, some of them you've heard about tonight. Each person, mayor and city council member, is tasked with appointing folks to these boards and commissions. I've made a real effort to appoint people who haven't served before, who represent different demographics in our community, reached out to people, but I want to encourage you all to apply, get people to apply. We've had a slight uptick in the number of women. I think we went from about 32% women representation to about 34-35%. We have the best farmers market in the region, bar none. I went to Maine last summer. Ours is even better. If we had the blueberries and some of the produce from Maine, it would be the best. But Emily Harmon and Blaise Van Alstall do an amazing, amazing job. If you haven't gone, go and thank them. Outstanding Parks and Recreation Director, you've seen Brad Rainey, but the change that I've seen since he's come on board has been really phenomenal. The AC Kaplinger improvements are well underway. They're within budget. They're amazing. They're beautiful. Pelican Bay, and again, really stretching a dollar. I want to thank Aaron Kane and all the other City Parks landscaping and maintenance team members for doing a whole lot to make our parks beautiful with limited budget. Supporting the butterflies and perennials, and it's beautiful, and people work hard for that. Lee Martin and the rest of the work on the urban forestry. Phil Jones, one of the first people I talked to, sustainability planner and ADA coordinator. The things that, again, are being done behind the scenes to make things accessible to people with mobility reasons, walking trails, bike trails, just some amazing work in that area, and respecting and conducting city business in a way that respects our environment. And then, I know you guys are loving this, aren't you? I got a soapbox and I'm going to use it. So Christy Batterson, you see her a lot, but she's advocating for folks in need in our community, nonprofits acquiring and maintaining grants. We have an inordinate amount of grant money. Thank you to everybody in the city manager's office. We work with a lot and see a lot. Jane Robertson, Megan Thurston, and Katie King especially. They're not up here in the limelight, but they take a lot of phone calls that are challenging and provide a lot of support and assistance. I want to thank the Edmond police officers who have stood in the back of this room for the last 4 years and walk us to our cars, make sure that we get there safely. So tonight, Lieutenant Mark Oak, Captain Paul Phillips, they've been common to do this, but there's been several others who have done that as well. And then Raina Beal, Dwight Polston. The reason this is live streamed, the reason you can see it, the reason you can hear us, all because of those folks, videos, photographs, and many other things. Sarah London, Special Events Coordinator, she was also instrumental in making Edmond a film-friendly city. The whole marketing and public relations team, head up by Bill Begley, they really, really try to get accurate information out to the media, social media, and public generally. If you could support those efforts, share what they're sharing, which is the truth. All the folks who took the time to send a text, an email, a voicemail, a handwritten note of encouragement, especially when we've had a difficult and contentious meeting. They always seem to come at the perfect right time. And I know other folks would echo that. And if you think something nice, you think something appreciative, please say it. We hear 99% negative. Huge thank you to my husband, Chris, who listens to me after meetings, crying or yelling or whatever it is. He watched the meetings in person initially until he was falsely accused of assault. So now he watches remotely. And there was no basis for it. We had police officers in the room, we had city attorneys in the room, et cetera. So it's not just us that put up with crap. Our families do too. My mom's had to defend different things. Did you know that not every road in Edmond is a city road? Some of them are county roads, some of them. So thank you to all the people doing that. Madeline Sawyer, you do see her up quite a bit because she gets the pleasure of sitting up here with us. She is our city attorney. We appointed her 1.25 years ago. She is young and she is female, in case you can't notice that, and not everyone has treated her with the respect and dignity that she deserves. And she is amazing and talented. And if you read anything contrary to that in the news, it was crap. Just so you know.
Courtney's getting excited now. She's like, keep going.
No, I got it all written down. But again, I mean, you hear these things and they're just not true, right? And you try to get the truth out there. But she follows in the footsteps of Steve Murdoch, who was here for 37 years and under whom she trained and is a rock star in the municipal law community. Not all of you know that, but everyone respects Steve Murdoch. We're really fortunate to have had him grow with us. Cindy Cobell, she was the city clerk when the three of us started 4 years ago. She did an amazing job, and now she's always been in charge of public art. She continues to do that. She is the director of public art, and we are nationally known as a city for public art, and that is a tourism draw. But there's some amazing work that's been done there. Corey Atkinson, our current city clerk, super on top of it, makes sure we do all the things we're supposed to do, that we're not violating things, helps with Open Records Act requests, which are super fun, right? When people call and say, I want every email, communication, and correspondence about this particular issue. They get to help do that. Randy Entz, you've seen him, the back of his head down there for a while as the planning director and assistant city manager. And when we had a change in the city manager, he said, whatever you all need me to do, I'm here, willing, able, and has frankly worked probably two people's jobs most of that time and done it with a lot of grace. And I wish I could be as calm and there are many wise things he's told me. What's the thing about the don't take a knife to a gunfight? Right? And then you saw the Visit Edmond team. Jennifer Thornton and Jody Fetro are amazing and do a whole lot with the lodging tax money they get. Kirsten Leddington, building and safety. A lot of these people deal with the public who are not always super logical or kind. We've got an amazing police chief, fire chief, Chief Younger, Chief Weaver, emergency management team, Ben Curry and team, municipal court staff, code enforcement, Ivan, and the list frankly goes on and on and on, right? So over 800 employees who deal with the public, make things happen, get a fresh new crop of us that don't know a darn thing, and right when we're getting trained and know what's going on, we roll off and they get a new group. And so there's a whole lot of people who make things happen in this community, and I just think they deserve, credit. And again, if I left your name out, it was not intentional, but, and we don't necessarily interact with everyone directly, but I think about who picks up my trash, who picks up my recycling, all those sorts of things. I am proud, as the mayor said, to be, and I don't know, we have a Edmond history historian, right, in our midst with our city attorney, and so this is the longest majority city council of women. Apparently, there were 3 ladies a while back, Victoria Caldwell, and I had it somewhere here, but now I can't find it. It was
Victoria,
Elizabeth Weiner, Victoria Caldwell, and Patrice Douglas.
That's right.
But apparently that was only 5 months. We've been 6 months. Yeah.
Still hold that record.
And then we've been a town since 1926. There's been 5 people up here. Stacy and I are 8 and 9, and Miss Murdoch Nichols is number 10. We're about 50-50, so let's see some more ladies up here. I'd love to see more other diverse demographics and maybe young people. As much as I enjoy a mid-50s white dude, we could use some other representation. My husband's one. Okay. Daryl Davis, right, Ward 3 for 10 years, and then mayor for 4 years, and was on Parks and Recreation Board before that, and has served this city honorably, and I am proud to call him my friend, proud that he was our mayor, and we haven't always agreed, but I've never lost my respect for the mayor, and hopefully he hasn't lost mine. Stacy, we've served this together for 4 years. Some I was down there, some down here, and she is always strong, positive, kind, generous. She is the best cheerleader for Edmond that I know. And I wish sometimes I could be more like her and not read the mean emails and just stop. That was the best piece of advice she ever gave me. She was instrumental again in the library YMCA project, also with changing our ambulance service that is way better, cheaper, more efficient, more responsive. And then Barry Moore, I've had the pleasure of serving with for a couple of years, and so grateful for your wise counsel, former planning commissioner, have a lot of experience and wisdom, and I'm really pleased that he'll be here as the most senior council member with 2 years, right? And then Maggie Nichols, so appreciate a young woman with young kids, because it is challenging to step forward, but you're a huge part of our community, representing a huge part of our community. We need to have, I remember you said one time that people said, oh, so are you quitting your job so you can be on council? And she said, I can't do that, or I can't afford to live in Edmond. So, we need to think about how young people with families can afford to live in this community. And then I'm almost finished. Aren't you glad? Yeah, I mean, it has been, a mixed bag. All in all, I've grown, learned, and I have friends that I'll have for the rest of my life. And the thing that I pledge to all of you, and to Mayor-elect Nash and Councilman Preston Watterson and Phil Frame, is I got your back, especially if you make a decision I don't agree with. I know that you're doing so with all the information that you have available, and much of which is not publicly available. I will never criticize you publicly. I will never write a letter criticizing you. I will never bully you. that is what I pledge to you, and I hope that the rest of you can do the same. And again, I just, yeah, so a little ranting, but not all the ranting. Oh, one more thing.
Oh, do it.
Those of you in our community that don't feel respected or feel marginalized, I have, in hopefully ways that you've noticed, tried to represent you and support you, and I'll continue to do that, right? And I will never call people who rent transients.
Or those people?
Or those people. So, okay, now I'm really finished.
The whole ranting thing is kind of funny because my daughter watches every evening, and she'll text me and say, "Oh, Kristen's getting ready to blow, Mom." And I said, I know. No. It's kind of fun because sometimes I stop myself way too soon. And here's the difference between Kristen and I, my little attorney friend and the nurse. And that's just, yeah, I made her number her pages. I was like, what in the world? This is just to keep me on track. I usually just kind of speak. I just want to start by saying thank you to so many people. I'm so fortunate that Kristen wrote down all the names because that's a lot. It's a lot. I want to start with thanking my husband and my family. You would think I still had a uterus. I mean, I just can't but not cry. They support me through everything. They see me cry, they see me laugh, they see me get frustrated, but I hope most of all, they've seen how much I love and support this community and everybody in it. Ugh. Then I also want to thank our amazing staff. Being up here on council is not an eye game. There isn't a single thing that this entire row of folks can do without the amazing staff and all the work they put into it. They work tirelessly to get us all the information that we need. They are always there to support us. If we have any questions, and we have a lot, we go to them and they're Johnny on the spot. They give us great answers. And again, we don't always agree with everybody, but we're respectful. And we know that every decision we make and everything they do for this community is for the betterment of the community. So I just want to thank them so much, the entire staff as a blanket. Then there's a couple people that are really important to, that have helped me. My situation's been a little different than some other folks, so I've required some extra help. And my Katie girl, man, she makes sure that we all get our information, that we're where we need to be when we need to be there. She is, every time I go somewhere, I got a cone for you. I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. Even my swab meetings, she saw me walking down the street, comes running out and is like, what are you doing? I mean, she's always there for me. She's always got a smile. She's always reaching out because she knows I watch my babies, so I'm not always on my email all day long. So she'll text me and say, I need you to peek at this. She's just been amazing. Sweet Megan has been there also in the city manager's office, and she is always helping me get what I need to get done with the city manager's office. Any questions I have, she is always there to answer. And Jane has been an amazing support. And that girl, I think, covered it all for a very long time. She wore many, many hats. And those are amazing women that have supported and will continue to support the entire council. I also want to say thank you to our city attorney. She has stepped up. It was really big shoes to fill, And she stepped up to the plate, and with her abundance of knowledge and her ability to know what attorneys to hire for specific areas of law, and I'm going to mess this up, but different areas of law so that she had the right folks at the right job so that we could get things done and keep this city protected. She's done an amazing job, and she's an amazing woman. You mentioned Raina. She's usually behind the scenes, as is Dwight. And they're taking our videos. They're so cognizant of whenever we do outdoor things that my bangs are laying down. It's hard to sport bangs in Oklahoma with the wind. So they always are, I'm like, don't forget the bangs. So they're really good about making sure those bangs are laying down for me. And doing videos on things, and because they're such great people and they're such supporters of Edmond, every time they say, can you do a video, my answer is always yes. I would do anything for them. As a matter of fact, sweet Raina even came and took family pictures of my family. I'm telling you, the staff goes above and beyond. They're just amazing. I want to thank Mr. Ince for stepping up to the plate. When we needed somebody to fill this position, he didn't hesitate. Maybe he did internally, but he didn't externally. When we asked him if he would do this, he said, anything for you. And he has done an amazing job. He, as well, has helped me through some really difficult times, and I'll never forget that. I'm going to talk about y'all later. So there's some things that, and again, it wasn't I on anything. What I did was I was an incredible cheerleader for my community. I love this community. I don't even know if my little Lily can remember, but when I first decided to run for council way back when, she said, Gaga, why are you doing this? And I said, honey, it's because everybody should be passionate about something. And when you're passionate about something, get involved. And I said, I am passionate about my city, so this is a way that I'm going to get involved. And every time I question why I'm here, sometimes I think about that conversation with that darling little girl and the way that she said, okay, that makes sense. And I thought, everybody needs to do this. And you don't have to sit on council to get involved in your community. We have some amazing boards and commissions that this community could not run, this city could not run without the volunteers that are on those boards and commissions. That has been amazing. And also on a couple of the boards and commissions that I'm on, the Visit Edmond, the Tourism Board, oh gosh, I have enjoyed that so much. Mayor just appointed me to that 2 years ago. I remember when I first came on council, he said, what boards and commissions would you like to be on? And I mentioned some, and he said, okay, and didn't put me on any of them. And then he said, what do you think about SWAB? And I said, what does that mean? And he said, it's a Stormwater Advisory Board. How about that? Have you thought about that? And I said, well, I can honestly say I've never thought about that in my life. However, when the 2 years came up and the council switched, and he said, what would you like to do? And I said, I want to stay on SWAB. I love it. I love it. But he also, at that point, I said, I'm at your pleasure. I serve at your pleasure. What would you like me to be on? And he said, no, Councilwoman Peterson, you've earned that right. And I said, whoo-hoo. So I chose the Visit Edmond Tourism Board. This city has so much to offer that people have no idea. They have no idea what this board and what our Visit Edmond department does for this city to bring tourism into this city. They work tirelessly, and they have received multiple Red Bud Awards. It's amazing how many awards they've received because of the wonderful things they do for this community. They bring money to this community for people to come here and spend their money on sales tax. they just were helping to sponsor and support different things coming in, and it's been so fun and it's been so exciting, and everybody on this board is so enthusiastic about this community, and the majority of them, probably except for me, have business, well, we do, sorry, baby, we do have a business in Edmond, but they have businesses in Edmond and all the different areas, and I love the diversity of the people in there, just the way they think and how they bring different information to the table and help you look at things differently. I have adored that. I felt so honored to be a wee baby little part of finally increasing our city lodging sales tax after 30 years. And I hope that that just continues to burst tourism in this city. It was very special to me to be a part of that. Oh, gosh. The other committee that I'm on is the EVAC, Edmond Visual Arts Committee. I love art. I love art. When my mom had dementia and lived with us before she went to heaven, to kill time, we'd get in the car, and it was a new trip every time because she didn't remember. And so I just take her and drive her and look at the art. And we've lived in Edmond since 1973, but this sweet woman woke up with a brand new memory every single day, so it was all new and beautiful to her. So we would drive around and she'd just sit there and just adore all the art pieces and say, this is the most beautiful city. We are so fortunate to have the collection of city art that we have in this community. And Uncommon Ground can do nothing but to increase that collection and to increase the economic boost in this city and tourism. I'm thrilled about that. We just got a grant or received some money from the state for a Route 66 project for the Eagle's Nest out at Uncommon Ground. It's just going to be a huge thing. Got to walk up a bunch of stairs, and hopefully once I get a few things taken care of, I will be walking up those stairs. I can't wait to get an eagle's eye view of our community. They're going to have concerts there. It's going to have great parks and walking trails. It's just going to be amazing. And speaking of Route 66, it's right on Route 66. We're getting ready to celebrate the centennial next year, so there are so many things planned for this. I would encourage everybody to get locked in and hooked up and just be involved. There's so many fun things going on. Some of the things that are near and dear to me, the YMCA library that I was privileged to have been put on that committee from the beginning, and I am thrilled about this partnership. It just shows where private-public partnerships, you get so much more out of it, so much more bang for your buck, and so much more bang for your community. I cannot wait for this to open. It's just going to serve so many more people on the east side of town. And our City Link just picked up another route, not too long, probably about a year ago now. But that other extra route will go down I-35, so it'll go to Sam's and Walmart and Mercy. It'll zoom around. It can pick up that Y library, and then it can go to Baptist Integris. I mean, it's just going to zoom and hit everyone. And that library's from the wee littles to the elders. It's not just for reading. There's STEM projects in there. There's all different kinds of things for kiddos to do, for elders to do. It's a place of community. I just can't wait. And that YMCA, what can I say about that? It helps our little kiddos with before and after school care, helps people to be healthy. It's also another area for community for old folk like me who can get up there and have friends and maybe walk that trail and stay healthy. So I am super thrilled about that. Another thing that I was a wee little part of that our fire department did an amazing job on, the information they got for us, the research they put into it, and the time they put into it for our new ambulance service here in Edmond. AMR has done nothing but exceed our expectations. They go up and beyond their expected percentage of response times, and because of that, just shortly, we were able to ramp up their contract a little more, and we have even more dedicated ambulance service in this community. We've never had that before. That is extremely important to me. Being a nurse, I know that moments can mean the difference between life and death for somebody, and for other reasons. But it's just, if it's important to me and my family, it's important to this community. And that is something I was so excited to be a little baby part of. You talked so much about A.C. Kaplinger, that we just had the dedication for the Charles Lamb Nature Preserve. That was exciting. Opening Kicking Bird Golf Center. I can't believe it's been a couple of years. That golf center is known nationwide. It's an amazing, the updates that were done there are just, if you haven't been there, you need to go. My husband and I go out there and just eat. They have a conference center, a place to do fun things. Our farmers market. That growth in that farmers market has been unbelievable. That farmers market has received multiple awards. We have people from communities all over the state and other states that come to Edmond to see how they can mimic what we're doing. It's just amazing what they're doing there. And they have the vendors, I think I heard they had 200 on waiting lists. That's how many people want to get into this farmers market. That is an amazing addition and growth to our community. I love that. I think I said all that stuff. Corey, I love it that when we're sitting here, we're going back and forth, we're changing things and doing this and that, and we're trying to get the wording. I can always look down and say, do you have it? And he's like, I got it. And we're like, good, we're going to try and pass that. He's always on top of it. He keeps us in line. He keeps us informed. We couldn't do what we do without you. That smile is always there. Truly it is. I think whether you're feeling it or not, it's always there. I think he shuts his door sometimes so I can't come in. But, and he's just been amazing. Not do I just love my community and everything about it and being involved in it, but being part of this council has created so many relationships for me that I would have never had. I have made so many friends, dear friends, that I know I will carry on forever. Some people sometimes are ready to roll off council. This old lady is not, because I'm going to miss my people so much. And they told me they're taking away my access card. And so I tried to see if they'd sneak me a new one, but I don't know if they will. But I'm just going to miss everyone and being able to visit with them. They've always had my back. And when I started running into difficulties, they supported me in every way possible to help me do what I do with grace and dignity. And I will never, ever forget that. My council members, Maggie, you bring fresh air. You have so much spirit. You have a love for downtown Edmond that I don't believe I've seen in as deep of a love for downtown Edmond in many people that I see in you. I am thrilled to see the things that you're going to do with this community. And I know even when you're not on council, this woman is a supporter of Edmond and will continue to always be a supporter of Edmond. My life is better for knowing you, and I'm so glad that you are part of this council to continue. Barry Moore. It's really funny. Every time I go somewhere, my kids are like, Mom, I don't know when they became my mom, but they're like, Mom, you can't do that. You can't walk that far. You can't do that. And I said, well, Barry's there. And they said, oh, okay, that'll be fine then. Barry he just has taken care of me like no other. He calls me before everything we go to. He meets me there. He gets me in. He gets me to my car. He always gets me a coffee, and it's always yummy. He always has encouraging words for me and a great smile. He even makes sure I get home at night. This man is an incredible man. Not only is he incredible to me, but he's incredible to this community. His love for the people in this community, it cannot be challenged. Cannot be challenged. And even though Barry and I have not agreed on all of our decisions we've made up here, we both talk it out. We say this is how we feel, and we both say completely understand it. And the respect I have for that is amazing. And you and your bride will always be important in my life.
Thank you.
Kristen Mugg. I don't believe our paths would have ever crossed had it not been for council. You know, years and years ago, I prayed a very dangerous prayer. I said, Lord, use me. It's a dangerous prayer. And he said, I got you covered. And all of a sudden, I'm on council. And I didn't know why, and it didn't matter. I was just trying to be obedient, because sometimes I'm not obedient. And I've really been working on that. Anyway, but I knew he needed me here for a reason. I don't know what a difference I've made in my community, but I know I've loved it with every ounce of my heart. And but I do know for a fact that the relationships I've made with all of the staff and with this council and with this woman are worth every minute. I've told Kristen, I said, in these past 4 years, you have become one of the dearest persons in my life. And I thank God for you all the time. This woman gives so much. She gives so much, and her life is so crazy busy. She just gives so much to this community, and I can't thank you enough for being my friend. And we moved her down here not because of her foot, but so we could talk more. That was way too far. My daughter keeps texting, Mom, you're not a good whisperer. So, so that's why we're down here together. And Mayor Davis, we kind of knew each other kind of socially before we came on council, but I had no idea what a friend I was going to have in you, what a brother I was going to make from you. He's always supportive. He's always there for a hug. Any questions I have, he's there for me. I see him in the community everywhere I go. He loves this community. And we've had the joy of visiting with a Boy Scout troop and a Girl Scout troop to do debates on how to vote. And we did it over cookies and candy, and that was so fun. I had much fun with those littles, and I can't imagine doing that with anyone but you. He always makes me smile. We cry a lot. I think we cry a lot. Okay, maybe it's me. I cry a lot with everybody. But this man has had my back from the beginning, and whenever something would come up, his response is always family first. Family first. And that is how it should be. It should be God, family, and everything else. And that man follows that rule. And I respect you. And I respect everything you've done for this community. You have been here a long time, and you have a heart of servitude, as everyone does up here. And I am blessed to know you. This is not an easy job, but it's been, every moment is worthwhile, and I don't regret a moment of it. My only regret is I wish I could do it longer, but I have complete confidence in upcoming Councilman Phil Frame. He's going to do an amazing job. He is a smart guy. He loves his community, and I have no doubt that he is going to fill this seat and do way more than I could ever have thought of doing. I will continue to support the sitting council and the upcoming council with everything I have, as I will support this community. I will not be able to vote on things, but I'm here to be y'all's cheerleader. I'm here to do whatever you want to do. I don't have a lot of words of wisdom, but I do have some. I will never stop supporting you. And like Kristen said, we don't always have to agree to support each other. And that is something I have vowed to always do. and for everybody on the staff too. And I hope that if they need anything from me, that I can be there. And I know they think they're getting rid of me, but I've already given out my email and my phone number and said, I have to be on this, I have to go to this, I have to go to this. So I'm excited to continue to do so many things with this community. And I would just encourage anyone to be passionate about something. And when you're passionate about it, get involved. Thank you. I think my water boiled.
Ms. Mugg, Ms. Peterson, thank you for that, those comments. Thank you for your service. Stacy, don't feel bad about those committees. He did the same thing to me. And to follow up on that bangs comment, Dwight, peek through that camera and make sure the mayor's bangs are looking good for this. It is my personal privilege and a high honor to call on Mayor Darrell Davis to offer his remarks tonight. He's a historical figure in Edmond. We're going to do some things later tonight that we're going to clean up the last of the plats that he's been so passionate about. And he was adamant to get that done on April 28th, and we are. Darrell, you are a good man. And all of us up here are your friends. And thank you for your service. And at this time, the Honorable Darrell A. Davis.
Well, thank you, Barry. Thank you, council. Appreciate all the comments that were made. Diddle, 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 diddle for everything that I said the same thing. But a lot of you all know I don't pre-write my speeches.
I can't see that.
I just wrote it while y'all were talking. But I was looking up here and looking at the audience here. And it's very reflective of what I've seen for the past 15 years sitting up here. From developers, to parents, to staff, to people who care about Edmond. What I don't see are my naysayers. But that's fine, because you know what? I know they care about Edmond too. And we just don't agree on how that should be done. But I always tell the story. I've been married for a long time, and my wife doesn't agree with everything about me. So how am I going to do things that are going to make almost 100,000 people happy all the time? Totally impossible to do. But the thing is to create an environment that if you have a servant heart and you have a love for people, you can come to this community and live, work, and play. There is nothing different among us beyond the melanin in our skin. You woke up this morning, and I almost guarantee you put on either your left foot first, your shoe on your left foot first, or your right foot. I don't know very many people, if I know anybody, who puts both shoes on at the same time. You had to comb your hair, just like I did this morning. Being bald is rough, because you miss a streak and people tell you. But that's what I've tried to do in my time when I found out Crest was moving here. I'm like, oh heck, this city's not ready for Crest. And with some of the same people that are in this room or watching on, we all started just having conversation. And that's what it's been about, having conversation. And it doesn't matter if you don't agree with me. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But I guarantee you, we can all go out and have a warm Dr. Pepper after we have our conversations, because it's about relationships. It's about creating a place where you feel welcome. It's about a place where you want to bring your family to. And you want to be about a place where you call this home. And that's, to me, is more important than anything. I've been very fortunate. When I decided to run for mayor, I went home and asked my wife, are we going to run for mayor? And she said, we? I said, we, because it's not just me. It's got to be the family. And she said yes. And then we called our middle daughter who lives here, said, come on, family talk. Are we going to run for mayor? Answer was yes. So I want to thank my family. For sharing me with Edmond. I want to thank Chris and Doug for sharing your wives with Edmond. Because you're right. I don't have to say that God's first. If you can't look at me and see that first, I don't know what you're looking at. But to me, it's family. If we don't take care of our family, we're nothing. And that's what Edmond's about, is taking care of our family. You all saw from what we just did this morning, this afternoon, over $1 million that we're giving out to other organizations to help the people who need to be helped here. So I appreciate the time I was given here. I appreciate the community accepting me and my family. I appreciate the opportunities that I've been given on the various boards and commissions. I appreciate the rooms that I've been allowed to enter that I just some time ago I was not welcome or allowed to enter those rooms. I appreciate the ability that, the confidence that you all had in me to represent Edmond. That you all said twice, go be the front man. Go be everywhere. Go show Edmond what it's about. Go show people what Edmond is about. I appreciate that. You all know there's a deep space in my heart for you all, and it will always be that. This council, I've served on several, and I appreciate this council like I appreciate the council before that one, the council before that, council before that, council before that. I appreciate the people who've come and stand at this dais and said, hey, this is what we want, or this is our concern. I appreciate the letters that people sent me and said, we don't like what you're doing. Because guess what? They had an environment to where they could speak to me. And that's all I wanted. I wanted you to be able to come speak to me. As you all know, I said it earlier, I don't do this job by myself. It was different when I was sat down there. I could talk, eat, a whole lot of things you can do in the corners, but it's different when you're here, right here in the middle. But
I didn't know we could eat.
we ate on our side. But you have to have people behind you that help you do your job. And the staff here has helped me do my job. Some I'm closer to than others. They've heard me vent. They've heard me yell. You didn't think I yell, but I do at times. And they know my concerns. And then we sit down and talk and figure out, hey, how can we still get what we need to get done? I appreciate each and everyone from staff. The three ladies, I call them my handlers. That's Megan, Katie, and Jane. They've taken care of me from the day we met each other. And so I appreciate each and every one of you all for what y'all have done. And maybe when I come back and whenever, and I knock on the door, you might remember who I am. But no, Edmond, we have a potential here that, just going to take it just a second here. To me, we're the most influential city in this state. Oklahoma City, they got a lot of things going on, don't they? But they're dropping a lot of crumbs on the table. I'm of the mindset, I don't have to put everything in place to benefit from it. Why can't we do things to benefit from what Oklahoma City's doing? Benefit for what's going on up north from us? How can we influence that? I've heard people say, oh, we got to take care of the citizens of Edmond. Yes, we do. But I want to take care of Edmond from a more regional, global aspect. It's just like your portfolio you have. It's diverse. I want our stuff here to be diverse in every way diverse that it can be. From our people, from the projects that we have, from the way our income streams, everything, and not rely on one thing, so we can handle adversity when it happens. So just think about that. So when you wake up tomorrow and you look at yourself in the mirror, I have a challenge for each and every one of you all. What are you going to do to help Edmond become better? Don't just think about your own individual silo. What are you going to do to make Edmond better? Because guess what? On May 6th, I'm going to do the same thing. It's not like I'm going away. I'm not moving out of the town. You'll still see me. Because I care. Help Edmond be better. These people here, I love each and every one of them. The councils before, I love each and every one of them. You all, I love each and every one of you all. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Take care of the city. Because guess what? This is where we live. Let's take care of home. And let's continue to grow for the generations that are coming up behind us. Let's take care of them. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's love on each other. All right. Now what?